Let's say one company is pulling out of the game completely, and I wouldn't be shocked if other ones followed behind. Oh, guys, I'm about done with this crappy weather. I guess this is a good time to say, if you're ever in a car in the winter and you're not going anywhere, you're slipping, rock the wheel. Holy crap. I thought this would have been somewhat plowed. My goodness. This is just a slushy mess. Those of you who are like, why didn't you drive the truck? This is why. The roads are just pretty much a wet, salty mess. My wipers are they finally unfroze this whole trip. Froze into the windshield. That's awesome. But yeah, I don't want to drive the truck because then I just washed it yesterday and all this slushy, salty stuff is going to be caked all over the truck. And by noon, if you watch yesterday's video, it's going to be like 45-50 degrees, so all this will pretty much be gone by then. That's why. Okay, so today we have a 2019 Silverado 2500 HD on the lift gas motor, and we are installing this leveling kit. This is pretty much everything that is included in the leveling kit. You have your new keys, and even though these aren't on the website with these, you need to buy the shock spacers or longer shocks, otherwise you'll bottom out. So we got the shock spacers on this guy. These leveling kits will either be the easiest thing in your life or a pain in your butt. On older trucks where the torsion keys and the torsion bars rust together, you will have a nightmare doing this. It's absolutely crazy. On this guy we also put a Flowmaster on here, which to be honest fits like kind of junk. And the way these tips were supposed to clamp on, the bolt was way too weak and would just spin and stripped itself out, so we welded them on. So those are not going anywhere, that's for sure. But this kind of goes with the nature of today's video, because this is a gas truck, and if this was a diesel truck, obviously without deleting the emissions, you can't really put a new exhaust on. They do make DPF back exhaust, but we all know those do almost absolutely nothing. So here you have a factory key, and here is your zone leveling key. Is the difference. The only difference that is in these keys really is, well, the zone is a bit thicker. The only difference between these keys is the clocking of where the torsion bar goes on these guys. But there's your difference. Alright guys, so like I said, that was like pretty much 5 minutes, 5-minute install, and I mean I was messing the camera around, moving that, but literally 5-minute install. If these are not rusted together, as soon as your torsion bars rust to your keys, you're gonna have a hell of a time trying to get them out. Me and my buddy actually were gonna put them on his truck, and we stopped because he had an 06 Duramax, and these were just rusted in. I mean, we even had a jackhammer at the time trying to hit these out. It just wasn't happening. If you didn't know already, this bolt pushes up through this keeper and pushes the key like this, which creates pretty much more torsion, and this bar goes all the way to the front here, which creates the lift on the front end. So other than the torsion keys on this, the only other part to this leveling kit is the shock spacers. Upper control arms always recommended, but no one hardly ever does them or wants to pay for them. But just doing the shock spacers on this, plenty thread up here. It's 2 little spacers that go in here, and it gives you new nuts to cap them off. Now, once you're done and you have it on the ground, here's something you need to watch out for. If the bolt in the torsion key, the bolt that goes into where the torsion key goes is tightened too much, even though it's flush with the frame rail right now, you're gonna run into this situation, which means the control arm is bottoming out. That's because of the poor angle of the factory one. That's why replacement control arms are a good idea. However, if you don't go for that route, what you're gonna have to do is loosen that bolt up so you gain more clearance here. If you want me to be honest, nothing looks better than a leveled 2500 Chevy, or 3500 for that matter, but they just look so darn good. Zone leveling kit, Mayhem, I forget, it's a new design, I forget the model name of this, but, and bridge grapplers, they're about 33 by I think 11.5, because of clearance on these leveling kits. Now this is what's gonna make a lot of you jealous. This truck has not even been PDI'd yet. Even down to this, still on the wiper. So like I said, if your truck is rusted together, the torsion bars and the keys, you're gonna have an issue with getting that torsion bar out. I mean, a lot of seat foam, deep creep, and air tools will probably help out if you are in that rusty situation. However, yeah, a lot of you are probably extremely jealous by the fact that this truck is legitimately brand new. Not that loud of a tone on the exhaust. The fact this is a gas heavy-duty truck and the Flowmaster exhaust I put on this is a huge part to today's video, because I have received some really unfortunate news for a lot of people in the diesel community. So as you guys could tell, diesel is a huge part of this channel, a huge part of my life, all this stuff. It has been for a while, and told you diesel's a huge part of my life. Let me set you up here and then get the mini Forest out of the way if possible. So the news I got today was, let me see here, Dustin messaged me today and said, yo, this is huge news. Flo-Pro is no longer shipping, exhaust to US consumers. And I'm like, mentally I'm like, yo, he's gotta be kidding. There's no chance. And so I messaged him, I said, says who? He says the shop he's either working with or works at, I forget what he said. They're trying to call Flo-Pro, get a shipment in, or something like that. And they said, oh, sorry, we no longer do that. So I'm like, okay, so I hit up my guy at Flo-Pro, start talking with him, and he goes, yeah, he goes, Flo-Pro will no longer sell, he goes, yeah, Flo-Pro will no longer sell emissions removal products in the United States. Whether you're using it for actual like off-road purposes like show trucks, race trucks, stuff like that, I mean just off-road vehicles, they will no longer sell them. So that's Flo-Pro. And you're sitting here like, well, there's a lot of other companies out there. And when I was talking to the guy at Flo-Pro, he says this is not, they haven't been cited by the EPA about this. I mean, a lot of companies have. That's why you see a lot of companies don't make 5-inch exhausts for the newer trucks anymore, is EPA related issues. But Flo-Pro just says, you know what, we're being proactive about this. We're no longer going to sell or offer emissions removal equipment for sale in the US. So now me mentally, that is like a huge step here, because as 2019 comes, all these new trucks are coming out. That removes a huge manufacturer for you know, performance for these new trucks, and all the, you know, 2010 or 2007 and up trucks as well. That removes a huge manufacturer for products like that. If one of the biggest exhaust manufacturers is stepping out of the game to avoid problems with the EPA, I would not be surprised if other ones started doing it too. I think we're looking at JAMO, MBRP, Diamond Eye. I don't know how many actually offer emissions removal products, but I pretty much know Cummins only stuff, so I don't know what else people use on Duramax and stuff like that, but I know Flo-Pro was a huge manufacturer for all of them. The fact that they are no longer supplying emissions removal products, whether you're actually, I mean, especially for the people who actually use it as off-road and, you know, race and stuff like that, it is a huge, huge thing in the diesel community. Coming down to, as I said, coming into these new trucks, you remove one of the biggest manufacturers out of the game. And if they did it to step out of the game and avoid, you know, any, you know, EPA problems and lawsuits, I wouldn't be surprised if other manufacturers start doing that too. So now you're looking at nobody is going to be making an exact exhaust for your truck anymore. However, what does that mean? What I view this situation as is just like the Ford Raptor replica grills. They can't sell the grill that says F-O-R-D on it. So the grill comes and says dude. It says D-O-O-D. And another company, obviously I'm guessing it's the same company, but they're under the same head, but two separate companies, manufactures the F and the R. So you turn the grill over, you take off the D and the O, and you replace it with a F and an R, and now it says Ford, and your grill goes on. So that's how I think the future of this is going to happen, is to avoid any like actual legal repercussions as a company. What's going to happen is someone's going to make a downpipe, someone's going to make just a 5-inch section of pipe or a 4-inch section of pipe that has no correlation, no truck, you know, specific truck model. It's just going to be a 5-inch exhaust pipe. Movable clamps, so you can put it wherever, new hangers, and, you know, put it where it needs to go, stick it in, bolt it down, and then same thing with tailpipe ends. It's going to bolt straight up to a DPF back exhaust. So I think that is going to be, you know, what's going to happen here in the future, is that you're going to have to hodgepodge your performance mods together, especially when, you know, these laws and regulations are getting stricter. That's why Driveway Demons said that this is probably the next car that's coming out for Dodge. It's still under wraps, but there's been hints that it will be more horsepower than the Demon. And he said this will probably be the last hurrah for Dodge coming into the high horsepower car market because of all the new emissions regulations and all that coming out. Dodge is going to simply not be able to produce these cars anymore when these motors are using up so much fuel and, you know, burning things rich like that to create this horsepower just to meet emission standards. There's probably going to be no way to do that and produce these high horsepower cars in the coming future. So for car guys, this honestly is starting to become an issue. You know, we'll see how this all unfolds, but as of now, yes, Flo-Pro is pulling out. I was talking to the guy, and he said, yeah man, within the next year we're going to be starting working on different products that we're going to produce and, you know, work on these trucks, but they're not going to be, you know, just say 5-inch straight pipes, 4-inch straight pipes, race pipes, stuff like that. But they'll be working on other products to work on these vehicles. So there's an update. I don't know what it will be, but that's what we're dealing with. There will be no more. Let's say one company is pulling out of the game completely, and I wouldn't be shocked if other ones followed behind. So all my hot breath is fogging up this car, guys, but that is about gonna do it for today's video. It is a gloomy, rainy day. Just washed the truck, so we're not gonna take that out tonight or anything exciting. So that's gonna end today's video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this. It honestly sucks. Let me know in the comments below. I haven't talked to them about like the you know, early model trucks before 07.5, if they'll still offer those pipes, but I would assume they would, because they are not emissions removal equipment. By emissions removal, you all know the DPF, SCR system, stuff like that. So I would assume they're still going to offer the prior model trucks, but I don't think they're going to offer the, they're obviously not going to offer the 2007 and a half and up exhaust pipes anymore. So I want to say, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this, your opinions, and also, if you haven't been here before, please get down there, click subscribe, shoot this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video.